Romania, Romania, Romania. The Catskills, the Catskills. Look, of course time went by. I actually left the Catskill Mountains behind. I went on to finally live my rock and roll American dream. That's it. By this time I was calling myself Jack. A nice American name for a nice American boy, soon to become Jake the Snake. That gives you a sense of what the next few years of my life was like. It was a wild time for a young man. The truth is I was just continuing the journey I started when I was a boy. At this age, I was still trying to figure out who I was, where I fit in, given my family's story. By this time I was a young musician. I had a lot of opportunity to get in trouble. I took every single one. And I had a lot of opportunity to travel. I traveled the world. This is Aruba. This is the Bronx. I traveled for years. And then I came back to New York for two important reasons. One, in 1980, I was asked to come and audition for this band when their drummer Peter Criss left. And this was great. In those days, I was a real drummer. And it was so great. I came this close to getting the gig. I did not ultimately get it, but from hanging out with these guys, you know what I learned? Two of these guys are children of Holocaust survivors. Isn't that unusual? You just never know. Anyway, don't feel bad for me. I did finally get my big break. That's it. For a short while, I was president of the Hair Club for men. And I came back to New York for another important reason. I was asked to star in a show for a fellow named Joseph Papp. He's a theatrical impresario. Rob, you know Joe? Okay. Theatrical impresario in New York City, very famous, at a place called the Public Theater. And this was a big deal, right? I will never forget my first meeting with Mr. Papp, but for reasons other than you may imagine. So I went to meet Joe at the Public Theater, which was on Lafayette Street, where it still is. And before I entered the building, I read a plaque on the wall. And the plaque said, this building was used by the Hayas to house the remnants of Eastern European Jewry after World War II. This was the actual building that my parents and my sisters had lived in so many years earlier when it served as a homeless shelter. It was so odd. It was like I was being called home. The truth is, unfortunately, I was needed at home. My mother had become very confused. We didn't know what it was, a young woman. We found out later she was in the beginning stages of what we now call early Alzheimer's disease. By this time, my parents had moved from Brooklyn to Kayamisha Lake, New York, the heart of the Catskill Mountains. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, on my trips up to visit my mom, you know, thinking about her illness from Manhattan when I was living, I started to recall the trips we used to have when I was a boy. We would load the car in Brooklyn with farmer cheese and pumpernickel sandwiches. My dad would bring an apple for each one of us as a drink. You're thirsty? So eat the apple. I recall really what a warm feeling I still had in my heart for those times, in those places, and those people. You know, Brooklyn, of course, but especially the Catskills, because the Catskills was the place where my family was the happiest, the most normal. But by the time I was visiting my mom up there, the Catskills had totally changed. None of what I'm talking about exists anymore. And of course, my mother had changed, and I had changed, and everything changed. When I finally found love in my life, we decided we would get married in the Catskill Mountains. I started going up there, I was an infant, now we would be married in the Catskill Mountains. I mean, really, you could say my life began and ended. So we were married at the Inn at Lake Joseph on July 13th, 1996, in Forestburg, New York. The groom was 40 years old. The bride was 39 years old. It was their first marriages for both of us. Already a miracle. I have no idea who this is. My beautiful bride, Lisa. Beautiful and wise. Very wise. I remember overhearing a conversation on our wedding day between Lisa and a friend. And the friend asked her, she says, come on, really, tell me, what does it feel like to finally be getting married for the first time at age 39? Lisa thought for a moment. Then she said, you know, at this age, it's really not that long a commitment anymore. God bless you. So, Look, for our ceremony, we picked some things from the Jewish tradition that we both share. Yeah, I've just answered your question. That really spoke to us personally. One is that I would wear my version of a kittel. You know what this is? This is a traditional white robe. It symbolizes purity on your wedding day. It's really a very beautiful tradition. I learned later that during the ceremony, the piano player, upon seeing Lisa in her white dress and me in my white robe, all the torches we had strewn about, he turned to the flute player and said, "Looks like a KKK rally." I will say, the truth is, my wedding was a little eerie. We had invited all of my relatives who perished to come and join us at the ceremony. You know, from the looks of this photograph and that sky, they just may have. As it turns out, my wedding date was the July hurricane of 1996. So we look at it like they all showed up. Very good. And then, the pièce de résistance, the traditional breaking of the glass. Yeah, you know, maybe I should have used the light bulb. La la la